We have a hole in the bus.
So last week we showed you how we built a box to house our two 20-pound propane tanks. They sit behind this diamond plate door with two locking hasps. We installed a regulator with a 2-stage auto changeover, which means when the first tank empties, it automatically switches to the second tank. Check it out. Welcome to the Tale of Two Smitties. We're Cody and Laura, and if you're new here, let's catch you up. Before winter, we bought a school bus, a big, yellow school bus. Cody flew out to Phoenix with Laura's dad, Grant, to make the drive back to downtown Dallas. Since then, we've been plugging away on our Skoolie bus conversion, turning a bus into a tiny home on wheels. We took out the seats, fixed the lock on the front door, took out a heater, put in a subfloor, and more. Much, much, much more. We've had help from both of our dads, Cody's dad Wayne and Laura's dad Grant. So, if you'd like to follow along on our journey towards bus life, click subscribe and sit back, relax, and enjoy the Tale of Two Smitties.
Hey guys.
How are you?
Good.
So if we can get down through here, which I don't see as a problem, we'll go around this stuff.
So we're talking about installing the hot water heater, and we've got to cut through the side of the bus because there's an exhaust on it that goes right out the side of the bus. So this whole thing will go out the side, and there will be a door on the front here. With venting on the outside. So we're just talking through space and cutting out part of this 2x4 and being able to get hoses in there because the water tank's going to be here and all that. So planning. We're going to try planning this time. I'm kidding. Yeah, I know, I saw.
We cut this out for the hot water heater. We pilot holed from the inside so that we knew where we were coming through. We cut the skin out here. This is just, because of these ribs here, we're going to have to do some extra padding of some metal over here because we're not going to be able to have a watertight seal over top of these ribs. So we're going to have to cut these back a little bit, put another piece of metal up here, and to be able to fasten the door of the water heater too, so that it's on a flush piece of the body of the bus side of the bus. So this was just how the rough opening for the water heater. Now we're going to do for the door.
So we got the outside cut. Now we got to cut the inside.
We just got our hot water heater door cover in the other day. So Wayne's helping us install that. What we have to do is cut a hole in the side of the bus, which we already did to put the hot water tank sticking out of. So now we have to put the door on top of that, and that's going to require a little bit more cutting, and that's what Wayne's doing now. So let's go take a look. We are back at the bus today, and first things first, protect us from this blazing sun. So we are going to put together some kind of tarp to keep the guys covered. This is what we've got so far. Wayne is the mastermind behind this, so let's see what he's gonna do.
Close your eyes, get some rest. I'm by your side. Lay your head on my chest. I know you've had a really bad day. But I'm right here, it's gonna be okay. The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay.
So what we're doing is we're adding this metal in behind the rub rails that we cut out. The point of that is so that we can waterproof it, because if we didn't add this would be wide open, and we can't, I mean we could, but we're not going to try and fill all that big empty space with Bondo. So this is way easier to waterproof, nice and flat for the most part, and then our door will go nice and smooth right on top. So this left side was good. It went in almost 8 inches, kind of all the way from the end of it. The end of it is actually about here. This side is gonna bump into that window rail. So we're just gonna trim it. It's only gonna go to about here, but that's way better than, again, trying to fill all this with Bondo, because that would not work. So for those of you who don't know what Bondo is an auto body filler. So it's gonna fill in all those open spaces, and then we're gonna be able to paint right over that. So that's perfect for a bus. I know we have some fellow Skoolie friends in very hot climates, notably Florida and North Carolina and Texas. So this is a couple 2x4s with a tarp hanging over it, and it is, no lie, at least 20 degrees cooler under that tarp. And there's a little bit of a breeze going. It's glorious. So we have MacGyvered quite the setup here today.
It's working well, so we're putting it over.
Oh wow, you can't even tell.
I know.
Okay, so what we're doing now is we put some screws in to get it as flush as possible, but when we're Bondoing, we need it to be totally smooth, even no nail heads. So Wayne just grinded off the the screw heads in these little silver spots, and it's a perfect job because it is so flush. So now when they put the Bondo over this whole area to make this level with this, they can just scrape it and not have any bumps or lumps, and it'll be nice and smooth. So this part of the bus is all cleaned up. It has been scuffed up a little bit so that the Bondo can adhere to all of these areas. Again, we're gonna make a nice, flush, smooth surface so that when we mount the door, it'll be perfect. Can't wait. Time for Bondo.
It's a two-part like epoxy, but it's for body filler.
The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay.
First go of Bondo, we found that it dried on that little plate really quickly, like less than a minute quickly. So we're gonna try and just do a little bit less and see if that helps. What we didn't show you was Wayne stuffed some, actually it was pipe insulation, but some really dense foam in these holes just so that we're not trying to shove Bondo 30 feet down the length of the bus. Of an experiment, getting it the right consistency so it doesn't cure too quickly but doesn't stay too gel-like. So we are working that out. And by we, I of course mean Wayne. Once we get this all lathered on, we'll have to go through and sand it down and then kind of even it back out. So that's what it's looked like. So this piece we're gonna have to wait to let harden a little bit, and then we'll kind of smooth that out and reapply to keep it nice and level. I think pretty good for first try.
Good morning. We are at it again, heading to Lowe's. At it again to finish up the water heater door, and got that Bondo, gonna sand that off, and then it's gonna be bathroom time. So anyway, stopping in to get some stuff. All right, so we Bondoed these rub rails yesterday, and now just taking the rough edges off before we start sanding. We're just using a grinding wheel to get some of the edges off. coat of Bondo, and now we're just gonna let it dry. This is how crusty it gets shortly after. All right, another hot one at the bus today. We got the washer. We got the hot water heater Bondoed around. We just did a final coat. I think that's the third coat of this. It's pretty smooth. We're gonna have to let this dry and sand the rest of it tomorrow. So we got that done. Yep, that's about it. It's gonna be 102 today, so we're ducking out of here. It's about 1 o'clock, so before it peaks, we're gonna get out of here. So we'll catch you guys later. Good morning, YouTube. We are headed back to the bus, bright and early. And today we are going to finish some body work around the door of the water heater so we can seal that and install it permanently. So follow along. All right, so we're here. Dad's starting to sand down the side. We'll show you what's happening here. Alright, so we just got a bead of silicone in here, seal it up. Oh, a little messy there, better wipe that up. Well, another day down, we're getting ready to leave the bus and head home. Hard day of work, sweating. Alright, so I'm editing the video right now and I cannot find the clips of putting the actual door on the propane tank. Which is really embarrassing and really frustrating. So we're going to show you some photos, and the propane door for the tank was screwed in on the sides and attaches actually inside the box of the tank and screws kind of from the inside out through to the outside of that box. And so we did that. There's a bead of silicone. A bead is an understatement. There's a bunch of silicone underneath the door around the outside of the hole, so it's kind of a double seal. And maybe at the beginning of next week's video, I'll kind of get some close-up footage of that. Really sorry in the meantime. Appreciate you guys checking this out. Hit the like button despite this faux pas. And hit subscribe, follow along. Thanks for following our journey.